Hey, welcome. My name is Jean-Serge Gagnon. We're just going to get started. I just want to welcome you here. If you're watching the replay as well, obviously, I thank you for watching the replay. And if you're here live, just let me know, where are you from? Go ahead and let me know in the chat. I've got the chat on the side here, so you might see my head turn that way once in a while. I've got, well, actually, I don't know if the camera is reverse. Yeah, the camera would be reversed because, no, I'm not sure. Yeah, looking over. Anyways, I'm looking over there. So my name is Jean-Serge Gagnon. We're going to get into that. You're going to learn the best way to turn those cold leads into hot leads so they are ready to buy your stuff. I mean, that's what we all want, right? So let's get started right now. All right. So what is this presentation about, right? We're going to talk about, I'm going to go over my promise to you. I'm also going to talk about what I expect of you. I'm also going to tell you who this is for and why it's different. Of course, then we're going to talk about who I am and why you should be listening to me. We're going to talk about how to short circuit Facebook so you take control of your time, right? We don't have enough time. That's what this is about, is taking control of your time. And there's going to be one thing that no one's talking about, and the 3 attraction marketing secrets. So we're going to talk about those 3 secrets, and which you maybe already know, but anyways, it's going to be a good refresher for you if you do. If not, hold on to your hat. We're going to go into the 3 attraction marketing secrets and the one thing that nobody's talking about. Then the easy, which is basically that's what nobody's talking about, the easy, foolproof 3-step process to magically grow your hot leads over time. It's all about using a simple process that you can do yourself very easily. And I'll explain why I say backwards, right? Because, I mean, when you registered, you saw I was talking about the reverse social prospecting formula. Why do I say that it's backwards? And why is it better so you stop wasting your time on the newsfeed? And I'll introduce you to the revolutionary software, active group users with a demo and a Q&A. All right, so my promise to you. What is this about? What do I promise you through this presentation? By the end of this presentation, you will know about the 3 secrets of attraction marketing, right? You'll know about those. You're going to learn the easy, foolproof 3-step process to follow. You're going to be clear on the activities that really make a difference and why. And you're going to understand why all the gurus say the same thing and realize it isn't enough. By the way, I hope that you can hear me. I actually didn't realize I didn't ask that. If you're watching the replay, just go ahead and put in there that you know, whether you can, obviously I would, just the live. If you're here live and you can hear me, go ahead and let me know in the chat, just that you can hear me. I would love to know to be sure, because I can't know. I would have to be you to know whether this is all working. But yeah, so let's keep going. Understanding what the gurus say, why all the gurus say the same things, and realize it isn't enough. You're going to know that by the end. But most of all, you will be clear on what will bring you the best results in your attraction marketing activities. And during this presentation, I will ensure I explain every concept in easy to understand language. I will allow you time to ask questions and take screenshots. So go ahead and stop me if you want a screenshot. I'm not looking at the chat here. I was looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you so much for saying you can hear me. I was actually looking at the wrong place where the chat was. I didn't even realize that somebody said hi Jennifer, hi Donna. Really great having you here. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to show you how to use the software by explaining how I use it. I'll even explain how you can do this without the software, because you know you could do it all yourself. The software just helps, right? But most of all, I'm going to make it fun presentation with a few jokes and here and there. All right, I'll show you how you can speed up the process to turn cold prospects into buyers faster than others are doing on Facebook, using the same well-known attraction marketing strategies with a twist. Sorry about that. What do I expect of you, right? What do I want from you? Well, during this presentation, I expect that you're going to give me your full attention. Of course, I know your time is valuable, so is mine. And if you have other things going on right now, I ask for your full attention. And for you to turn off your browser. Please turn off get out of Facebook, get out of LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube. Get out of all those apps so that you're not distracted. Close your emails and your private messages. Shut the door. If you are in a room and you can shut the door and lock your kids and your pets in a closet. Well, seriously, we don't do that, but you know what I mean, right? Try to not get distracted by anything around you. Unplug your phone or turn it off and put it on silent. I know you'll thank me for reminding you to do this because sometimes we forget, and you'll get much more value out of this if you're paying attention, if you can focus, right? So you're ready to get going. We're getting into it right now. Are you ready to get going? All right, let's go. Okay, if you stay until the end, I did promise you, if you saw on the presentation, right, and not the presentation, but the registration page, you saw that I promised a 3-month free access to the software that we're going to show you here, but you have to stay till the end. I'm going to give you the link at the end of the presentation on how to get that free 3 months, so you got to stay till the end, but it's going to be worth it. I tell you, it's going to be worth it. All right, so who is this webinar for, right? You might be thinking, well, is it really for me? Should I stay, right? Should I stick around? Should I watch it? Well, this is who this webinar is for. It's for those who are using Facebook to grow their business online. Sure, if you're using Instagram, using other platform, it could be worth it for you too, but Facebook is really kind of the focus on this presentation. It's for those who are trying to find new people to join their network marketing business. If you're an MLM, network marketer, this is for you. It's for those who are trying to sell digital courses online. If you've got digital courses, or if you're trying to build an online community, or selling courses, this is for you as well. It's for those who are building a coaching business and need new clients. If you're a coach, right? If you sell your time to people, then you need this as well. It's for those who have a brick and mortar business, a shop, a corner store, and they're trying to attract people to visit their store using online, using Facebook, right? It's for those who sell products online and want to get more people to visit their online store and obviously make more sales, right? It's for those who are trying to get more leads and get more sales, right? Basically, all businesses need that. So is that you? Do you need more sales? Do you need more leads? Do you need to sell more? Do you need to find people to join your business? Do you need people to sell you? What is it that you're trying to get out of the online marketing, right? What are you trying to get? Are you trying to get sales? Are you trying to get customers? Are you trying to get clients? Are you trying to, sell products? Are you trying to get them to join your business? What is it? Go ahead and let me know in the chat. If you feel moved to do that, I would love to hear, because, if I know who is live here and what you're looking for, I can maybe tailor this a little bit more for you, right? So do let me know if you want. All right. So next, whoops, that didn't work. The next, press the button. Is my computer stuck there? Let me see. Oh, it looks like it thinks this is this. There we go. Okay. So are you tired of getting no results? I bet you are. I mean, are you tired? Are you ready to quit your online business because you're getting no results? I mean, I was there at some point, right? Are you tired of sending 20 friend requests and PMs every day with no replies? I might be exaggerating. Maybe you get some replies, but sending them every single day, you should get some results, right? But most of us, we don't. At least not as much as we'd want. Are you fed up with everyone telling you that the only way to make money online is to talk to people? Are you discouraged at that the attraction marketing strategies aren't working for you? If this is you, right? I mean, if this is you, this is for you. Then this is for you. Get ready to find out why. Are you ready to learn why it hasn't worked for you yet? Let me know in the chat if you're ready to learn how. If this hasn't worked for you yet, let me know. Just put a yes in there, or 1 if you're ready to learn, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, put a 1 in there if you're ready to learn. or maybe a Y. Put a Y. All right. So what do we all want when we're building a business online, right? What are we looking for? What do we like? What do we want? What do we want, right? The girl's looking up, the guy's doing this, and what do we want, right? So it's pretty universal. We all want fans, members, signups, and sales, right? And we want to make money so we can help more people and make the world a better place, right? I mean, everybody wants that. Everybody wants to, sure, you want things for yourself and all that stuff, but really, if you've been in business online for any longer than a week, you've heard that you shouldn't be doing it for you, right? If you're focusing on you and what you need, you're not going to get very far. You got to focus on helping others, getting them things, because that's what it's all about. But if we don't want to waste our time talking to people who aren't interested, right? Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to waste our time talking to people who aren't interested, right? I mean, we want to, like, if you had 20 people in a room, you would want to just talk to the person that's going to buy stuff from you, right? I mean, how do you know that? But that's what we want. We don't want to waste time on those 19 people that'll never buy from us, right? That's what we want. Well, let's stop this sorting and next method and really get leads to come to you with attraction marketing done the right way. I mean, if you've been in a business online for a while, you've heard of these methods, right? The next, the sort, it's all about sorting. It's all about just, asking a person, asking the next person, asking the next person, right? It's all about that. And that's what they've been teaching. So let's stop this and learn the right way to do it. So what makes this different, right? Why does the reverse social prospecting formula work? You're probably asking yourself that, right? If you want to know why, put a 1 in there, put a yes, put a Y in the chat. If you want to know why this formula works, what's the difference, right? Let me know. Because, I mean, I can just stop this and go away if nobody wants to know, right? I know you want to know. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So do you want to know what the reverse social prospecting formula, why it works? So you might be thinking you've heard about the strategies to connect with people on Facebook, right? You might think this is the same process anyone else is teaching. Well, you might be thinking doing things in reverse makes no sense, but you're going to see why it does. And the rules don't change, but the order of execution and the results certainly. So when I say reverse, when I say backwards, you're going to see soon what I'm talking about, because it does make a difference, makes a huge difference. That's the reason it works. We do some things backwards, right? I'm going backwards. I'm going to go backwards, right? You got to do some things different than other people, right? So this is what this is about, is doing it backwards, right? Are you ready to learn more? Let me know in the chat there. If you're ready to go, let's put a Y in there. If you're ready to go, let's just fill the chat there with Y. Yes. All right, let's go. All right, so before we go there, let's talk about me a little bit. You kind of have to know who I am. You can see a few pictures there. So my name is Jean-Serge Gagnon. Everybody calls me JS because Jean-Serge is not the easiest word, the easiest name to spell, to pronounce in English. And I'm originally from a small town called Sept-Îles in Quebec, Canada. You see the little map right here, United States, Canada, I'm from up there. And I have 4 daughters, 5 grandkids, and I was married in Aruba. So that's our wedding there. This is my my second oldest right here. This is my oldest there. These are her 4 kids, and this is her son here. And these are my 2 younger daughters. I'm a programmer, and I have a great paying full-time job that I actually like. I'm not like a person who wants to quit my job because I don't like it. I want to quit it because I don't have the freedom to take time off when I want to, right? And I can't travel the world. I don't have time to do any of that stuff, right? That's what I want to be doing. And I've been an entrepreneur since I can remember. I mean, I started my teens learning about stock markets, and then I learned programming. And I did all sorts of things. I co-founded a company in late 90s that rose to 20 million in valuation. At the time, I owned 50% of the company. Well, when I started the company, I owned 50. Then, with the investments and stuff, I ended up owning about 20% when the company was shut down. But I was a millionaire. I mean, on paper, I mean, the company didn't had to shut down and everything, so I never kept that. But I was a millionaire, $2 million actually worth back then in time. I discovered attraction marketing in 2015 and followed what was taught, right? I built a few websites. There's snapexec.com, which was a snapshot discovery site. There is Click eCourse, a social media platform with integrated course hosting. I built a Clever AI Copy, an AI-driven copywriting platform. I even dabbed in NFTs, if you know anything about that, crypto recurrence with my NFT engine and my crypto autobot. Last year, I created a software that helps me do what I taught what helps me do what I was taught, right, from the attraction marketing with just 30 minutes a day on Facebook, which I'm going to share today. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I spend 30 minutes a day on Facebook, and that's it. I spend maybe a few more time than that, but my focus time, my strategy is 30 minutes about the time to build my audience on Facebook. So is that something that you'd like to hear about? How to build your audience in just 30 minutes? Anyways, it'll be part of what we're talking about here. And but yeah, so let's get to it. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of background of these websites I built. What's SnapExec? It was basically back in 2018, I got heavily into Snapchat. I still use Snapchat today to create most of my stories, right? I use the Snapchat camera, right, and all the effects and stuff sometimes. And SnapExec was a website where you can manage your Snapchat friends. You can do all sorts of things on it, but unfortunately, Snap Inc. decided I was infringing on their copyright, and they bought it up. They shut me down, I guess. They paid me, for the domain. So I also the site also would let you find Snapchat friends and things like that. But like I said, it's not there. It's a great idea, but it didn't really take off. Plus, they bought it. It's just another cool thing I did, right? So the Click eCourse is a current site that I built as well. It's a website that is a social platform with digital courses. So you can post pictures and things like that, just like on Facebook or other platforms. And you can comment on and friends and all those different things, right? It has a news feed where you can see posts, new courses, and new lessons added to the courses. You can connect with friends, send them PMs, create groups, sites, links, pages, set up a WordPress blog, create syndication assets, and even create your own NFT collection. Well, that's part of the NFT engine, but you can also upload your course, sell them, or give them away, and choose to pay commissions to others. When I started to learn things, I wanted to teach, and I looked at all the platforms, and none of them were really what I wanted. So I built this site. So I created this platform, and I've been posting my courses on it since, right? So this is just an example of some of the courses on there, right? And so it's also a full white label platform and has an affiliate program, of course. And what that means is, you could use that website yourself. You could call it whatever you wanted. You could have different colors, different looks. It would be your website. But anyways, I bet you want to make money in the e-learning boom, right? So e-learning is all about digital courses and all that, right? All right, so what is Clever AI Copy? Another website. Now, I know we're kind of getting away from what you really came here for. This is going to be worth it, I tell you. Just give me another few minutes here to show you. In recent years, everybody has been talking about AI, artificial intelligence, tools like GPT. So I decided I want to learn how those worked. I ended up creating the site, and it's a virtual assistant that can help you with tasks to create. Things like course titles, summaries, descriptions, and lesson topic headers, funnel headers, subheaders, and copy, email soap opera sequences, or send to your broadcast list, your letters to loved ones, your clients, or your lawyers. You can have it create images based on descriptions you give the assistant. And it's a one-stop shop for content creators to quickly and easily lighten their workload, right? So if you're building a business online, right, you need to create content. You need to create copywriting. You need to do copywriting, which is basically writing words for your ads, for your posts, for all that stuff, right? So don't we all need that, right? We all need that. So, but we're here to talk about the reverse social prospecting formula, right? And the revolutionary software. So let's get to the point, right? This is what we're talking about. All right. So this process is about taking control of your time on Facebook by doing something different, right? So that's what this is about. And it's about organizing your efforts so you know where you stand with Facebook leads. And it's about stopping to waste your time by randomly engaging on posts in the newsfeed, right? I mean, that's what we were all doing last 5-10 years, however long you've been online. We go to the newsfeed, we just go like this, we comment, like whatever's on the newsfeed, right? We're just doing this. We're like, like zombies, right? Well, this is about stopping that, taking control. It's about understanding what makes a prospect go from not knowing you to trusting you and buying from you. It's the know, like, and trust ladder. So I'm going to show you what that means so you really understand what's going on, right? All right, so it's about taking control of that process so their trust in you happens as fast as possible without reaching out to them, because that's what you need. You need people to trust you before they'll buy from you. It's about finding the most active and most ideal prospects for you, right? I mean, you can, but first we need to explain why what we are doing is not ideal, right? So what is it that we're not doing? Are you ready to learn why it's not ideal? Why that's not ideal? The process that we're doing right now. Is that something you'd like to know why it's not ideal? Let me know in the chat. Put a why in there if you're interested in knowing the process of why what you're doing right now is not ideal. What the leaders are teaching you. What is everybody telling you to do? Why is that not ideal? I mean, I've been doing that for a long time, right? That stuff is not the best thing to do. I mean, some of it is very good, and I'll actually let you know what I mean by that. And some of it is just not in the right order. It's about doing it in reverse. You're going to see what I mean by that. All right. Okay, Donna, thanks. All right, so next. So I've just, I've done a lot of things right. I mean, I decided who my target audience is and what I'm going to be selling. Right, I've started creating content and sharing daily. I've engaged on other people's posts that are in my target market. I've learned tons about personal branding and affiliate marketing. And I bought books, audios, and courses, and learned from my mistakes. Right, I've done, and I'm sure you've done lots of good things too over the last little while. Right, I bet you've done plenty of things right too. Right, I'm sure you have. Everybody, we do lots of things right. Right. But I've also done a lot of things wrong, right? Oh my God. Or done something so wrong. I mean, I spam people my links, right? I remember when I first started online, I was in this business, and they told me, bring people to the website. It's got a video, it's got this, it's got that. Just tell people to go there, right? So I would send them that page to all my friends. I would send them a message on Facebook, right? That's called spamming, by the way, because you're sending the same thing to a bunch of people without them wanting it, right? That's spamming. And Facebook doesn't like that. I spammed lots of people. I reached out to people before they were ready for me. I mean, I would send messages to just people after seeing their profile on Facebook. Hey, I saw you like horses. I used to ride a horse when I was a teenager. My aunt had a horse, and I think it's really cool you like horses. And, oh, by the way, I sent you a friend request. I mean, I would do that. And that's what leaders kind of tell you to do anyways, at least in a certain way. But I would do that. And that they don't reply to me. The people just ignore me. They think I'm whatever. And some of them block me and stuff like that, right? So I posted content for the wrong audience. That's not an easy thing to not do because it's hard in the beginning. But I lost my Facebook page with 23,000 likes on it. I had a page called Success with JS that had 23,000 likes on it. Anyways, I lost that. I know why, but I used it against policy Facebook ads to grow a new page, 18,000 likes within like a month and a half. I had a new page with 18,000 likes, but I lost that page too because I didn't do it the right way. I did something that Facebook doesn't want you to do. And I remember thinking, oh my God, Facebook is so, I hate Facebook. Why can't they let me do what I want to do, right? And, at the time that's how I was feeling. It was like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just Facebook, you didn't tell me I can't do that. They don't even tell you what you can or can't do, right? They just say they have policies, and if you go against it, they'll whatever. But that's kind of how it was. I was like that. I did those things. I spent over 30,000 in ads with no real income results, right? I did all these things, and maybe you did too, right? We all do things we'd rather not admit, right? We do things we don't want to admit, but it's part of life. Part of life. We do things right. We do things wrong. That's how we learn, right? We get better as we learn, right? All right, so here's what I learned about building an audience on social media, the attraction marketing secrets. These are the secrets. And yeah, Donna's right. I mean, if you just go see people in the store, yeah, you're right. Oh my God, I remember doing that. I used to be in a network marketing business, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And one of the things was going out to stores and just striking a conversation with people. I was actually pretty good at it. I even wrote an ebook when I first started my attraction marketing. I wrote an ebook about getting their numbers, the 10 tips to get their numbers or something like that. And I was good at doing it. I would go to a store. I would start talking with somebody. I would get their phone number. I would actually call them and be able to book an appointment with probably about a 90%. So, out of 10 people I would go talk to, I would get 9 numbers. And out of 10 people I would call, I would get 10 appointments. But where I didn't succeed was actually presenting to them. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I never was able to break that part of it. So that's kind of why I left the network marketing, because I'm like, you know what? I can't. I don't know what's wrong. And they told me, keep presenting. Eventually it'll work. And I'm sure it would have, but I did like maybe 100 presentations with no, sale, right? The only people that ever joined my business back then was people who came, either were friends already, people I already knew that came with me to these like weekend things, right? But anyways, enough of that. Let's keep moving, right? So, I mean, yeah, nobody has the guts. You're right. Exactly, Donna. That's exactly right. So this is the thing with the attraction market. What are the secrets, right? So the secrets, these are the things that we know about attraction marketing, right? You must be consistent. You must be persistent. You must be congruent, right? You've got to create content regularly. You've got to know who you are targeting and what you are offering them. That's super important. But most of all, you must engage daily and find new leads every day. I'm not saying you got to do that. And if you're not doing it, you're not going to have anything. But this is what they tell you to do, right? They tell you to do all these things, right? It's a lot, right? It's a lot to do all that. And I know, and I'm nothing if not persistent, but I knew I needed something to help me manage all that. I mean, doing all these things all the time, you got other things in your life to do, right? There's other things that come up, right? You can't just do this in your life. You have other things, okay? And as a programmer, I found a way and I built a software so it can help you too, right? That's kind of what we're going to talk about later too. Before we talk about using any tools or software though, we need to understand attraction marketing and the secrets it holds. So we're going to talk about the 3 secrets of attraction marketing, which is kind of related to what I just covered here, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So you ready to learn about the 3 attraction marketing secrets, the 3 things that if you know and understand will make such a big difference in your online journey. You're going to be blowing things out of the water just because you understand these things, which you might have a clue right now, but maybe you don't understand fully the importance of them and why these are super important, right? So you ready to learn those secrets? Again, let's say yes. Donna says yes. Awesome. And let's get to it then. All right. So first secret. The first secret, the know, like, trust ladder. All right. So the know, like, trust ladder, I just did this, wacky little drawing. Maybe somebody can help me build a better one. But basically the know, like, trust ladder, right, is we all know that people need to trust us to buy from us, right? You're not going to buy something from some random stranger if you have no clue who they are. You have to know them and trust them first. And to do that, you need to go through this ladder. That's basically what I'm saying here. They need to know you, they like you, they trust you. And I'm kind of going through this, right? Before they'll trust you, though, they need to like you. And before they like you, nobody likes someone that they don't know. So they have to know you before they like you, right? So how do you think we get people to trust us, right? What do you think makes people trust you, right? Go ahead and put a comment in there if you think you have the answer to that. What makes people trust you, right? Why would you trust, like me, for example, right? What is it that makes you trust me if I was to offer you something or anything like that, right? Why, or even just coming to this webinar, right? Why would you trust me, or why would you trust somebody else to buy something, right? And I mean, it's the same way we get them to know and like us. It's really, really very simple. This is the secret. The simplest thing is exposures. So as people go up the ladder, right, which means, so each of these little things right here, they're exposures, right? The rungs of a ladder, right, or the steps of a stairs, right? They're ladders. They're exposures, and we're going to talk about what that is in a second. But every single time they go up by one, a little bit, eventually they get to the top where they buy from you, because they've gone through the steps. And we're going to talk to you about secret number 2 in just right now. All right, so secret number 2 is exposures. That's what I was talking about in the ladder, right? Each of the rungs of the ladder, they're exposures. Why do exposures matter, right? Exposures are just a fancy way of saying being seen, right? So, I mean, it's like TV commercials for a new car or a toy. You see it enough, you'll think you want and need it. That's just how marketing works, right? That's why every leader out there talks about these tactics here, right? I mean, we talk about creating content regularly. You talk about engaging other people's posts. They talk about sending friend requests. They talk about, following others. They talk about sending private messages. They talk about, all that, because those cause exposures. People see your stuff if you create content. If you don't create content, they're not going to see your stuff, right? If you don't send them friend requests, they're not going to see your stuff. That's why leaders tell you to do those things, because they cause exposures. And, it's like, you might not want that car, but if you see enough ads of that car, you're going to eventually want it, or at least think you want it, right? And that's just how marketing works, right? Advertising, that's just how it works. That's why there's billboards. That's why there are all these different things that cause you to see things and want to have them, because you feel you need it. You get this exposure to it, right? So I bet you can see how important exposures are too, right? The exposures, I mean, it's one of the things that is super important. You got to understand the know, like, trust ladder. You got to understand that people have to go up that ladder before they buy from you, before they trust you, before they know you, before they like you. They have to go through that ladder, right? And there's one more thing that causes exposure most leaders forget about, and that's secret number 3. And you want to learn the best secret number 3, hopefully. And Robert Hilton says, pretty face, haha. Yeah, sometimes it's all about your presentation and your hair color, right? It could be whatever, right? Or sometimes your smile, or maybe if I make jokes. I mean, those are things that make people like you, right? People like people who are energetic, or who have a certain look to them, or whatever, right? I mean, some people might like people with black hair. Some people might like people with blonde hair, right? So it's obviously, you as a person, you're not going to be attractive to everybody. And it's not always about your physical attraction. It's about your personality. It's about what you're offering them, right? The results that they're going to get from your offer, those kinds of things, right? So, all right, so let's go to the best secret, right? The best secret, or at least I think is the best secret, because it's so underrated and it makes such a big difference. And the last secret, did that done go? There you go. Secret number 3, notifications. Notifications, the real secret. Why are notifications so important? I mean, in case you haven't realized, each notification is an exposure, right? So see this like, I got this picture right here, right, with Lucy here that had liked and commented on my post, or I guess she commented on my post. What happened here? I think my computer is giving us some look at that. It's all kind of reloading this page. Hope you can still hear me there. I'm going to restart the slide and go to that slide where we're. Oh yeah, we're right here on notifications. Notifications right there. So can I do view slideshow? I probably should have closed other browser tabs or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but okay, notifications. So what it's saying is I'm seeing Lucy here a lot in my notification, right? So imagine if I saw her notifications, if I saw her face in my notifications every few days because she's commenting on my stuff, I would, start to wonder who she is, right? If I've never seen her before. I would maybe go to her profile page. And not just that. I mean, I remember Diane Hockman talking about notifications. And I thought that was really interesting because she was talking about how leaders tell you to share your post to 10 to 20 groups per day. Now, I don't know if that's still a thing now. I mean, I sometimes share to groups, but I used to post every day or every week. I would post a blog post and a video and everything, and I would share that to like 20 groups, right? And leaders would tell you to do that because that was one way to grow your audience. But the reason why she said to do that wasn't because of people seeing your post in those groups. Because to be honest, there weren't that many people that would see it or that would comment on them, right? She said that it was not about eyes on your posts, but rather your friends seeing the notifications that you posted to 10 groups. Notifications, right? People would see your face in their notifications saying, hey, Donna posted to these 3 groups that you're in, right? And that was the reason why it was important, because of notifications. And the reason is that's when I realized the power of notifications, because it's powerful, right? Can you see the Can you see the power too? I hope you can see the power too. Put that in there. Yes, in the comment, or just Y or 1 if you don't want to find the Y on the keyboard. Just let me know if you can see the power of notifications, because that is really one of the biggest secrets that are kind of hidden that nobody really talks about, right? And so let's talk about the easy, foolproof 3-step process. You remember in the beginning, I said I would tell you about the easy, foolproof 3-step process, and you've probably been waiting. Oh my God, when is he going to get to it, right? It's like, geez, it's over half an hour now. We haven't even gotten to it. So this is where we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the easy, foolproof 3-step process to magically grow your hot leads over time. This is it. So number 1, step 1, post daily. Number 2, comment on other people's posts. And number 3, reply to other people's comments. Okay, now you must be thinking, like, what is this? I know that. Everybody tells me that. Well, just hold on. So pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple. I know it's pretty simple. But here's the thing. There is more to it, right? And we'll get to that in the next slide. I bet you've even heard this process before, right? Like I'm saying, this is something you're already doing it probably, right? Or maybe you're not doing it daily, but you're doing those 3 steps, right? What if I told you that this is truly the best way to attract prospects to you, right? It is. There's one step that gurus and leaders tell you to do, which you're probably doing in reverse or backwards. It's not one of those 3 steps, but it's the 4th step or the step 0, whichever one. It's not. You're not doing it in the right order, right? So let's talk about that reverse step. All right. So the reverse or backwards formula. What makes it backwards? All right. So I bet you agree that there was one important step missing from the stupid formula on the previous slide, right? I bet if I was to look at the chat there's somebody that would say, yes, I agree. There's something missing. If you think there's something missing, go ahead and tell me, what do you think is missing? What is the thing that is missing from those steps that you think is missing? I'm going to wait 10, 15 seconds there to see if somebody is brave enough to actually say what they think is missing. If nobody says anything, I'll keep going, but hopefully you want me to continue, but we'll see. But all right, so I guess we're not either the computer's slow, but yeah, let's just keep going. All right, so there are other things you need to do before starting to do those 3 steps as well, right? So that's kind of the preparation. We're not going to go into that stuff. I mean, we can't cover that all today, like defining your avatar, your offer, and setting up your profile. Those are things that are kind of like part of the foundation, right? The foundation isn't what this presentation is about, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that you need to do when you kind of get started, right? Leaders, they don't prevent you from doing those simple things before all that's ready, which causes lots of issues. Even though, and it's not the leaders, it's us, right? Us as marketers, or not even marketers, I guess us as entrepreneurs. We are wanting to get started, right? We're wanting to get those sales, and we're wanting to do those little things, but we're not willing to do all the foundational work. We don't do it. So anyways, we're not going to talk about what that foundational work is, but I'm just pointing out that there is foundation. Donna says connecting. You're right. That's pretty much it. And I'm going to get more into it exactly, but that is the secret ingredient that has to happen to build your sales. I mean, but anyway, I'll explain why in a minute. So the other thing you should be doing daily is this, contacting people, right? This is what I just showed up here. So leaders tell you to do that right away because it's the only way to speed up attraction marketing, right? Leaders tell you that one of the things you need to attract people to you is results. You need results so people are attracted to you, right? But you can't get results until you make sales and you give them results and all that stuff, right? So it's like what do they call it? Chicken and egg thing, right? It's where do you start? How do you get? It's like your first job as a teenager, right? They want you to have experience. They're not going to hire you unless you have experience, but this is your first job. You don't have experience. So how are you going to get that first job if you don't have any experience? So it's kind of the same thing. So you got to have results before you attract people. And to do that, you got to be talking to people. That's what leaders tell you, right? You got to contact people. Contact, right? And that's why they tell you to contact people. But they're right that you need to contact people, but they're wrong about one thing, right? And that's what's reversed. You need to do it in reverse. You don't contact them until they are hot leads. You might be thinking, well, isn't that kind of another chicken and the egg thing, right? How do they get hot leads if we'll talk about that. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But basically, that's the secret. You do those 3 things, right, from the simple 3-step formula, right? And then you contact them, but only after they're hot leads. But how do you know that they're hot leads? You might be thinking. I know I would think that anyways, right? How do you know they're hot leads? Well, that's what we're going to talk about pretty soon. We'll talk about how you know who are the hot leads in a bit. But before that, let's clarify a few more important things. All right, we gotta make sure that you're clear on all these different things. All right, how do you choose whose posts to engage on? Right, so that's I used to do it like this. Right, I used to randomly engage on posts on Facebook. I told you that before, right? In the newsfeed, I'd follow everyone that was following my mentors. Right, I would go to their page, and then I would look at their followers, and then I would just say follow. Right, I'd visit the groups in my target market. I'd go visit the groups my target market is in and engage on those posts there for months, right? So I'd go to a group, an attraction market, an affiliate marketing group or a ClickFunnels group or something because I'm in affiliate marketing. And then I would just look at those posts and comment on those posts and just try to be helpful, right? That's leaders tell you to do that, right? I would hope and pray and wait for my perfect prospect to reach out to me, right? Because I was still creating content, I was still commenting on posts and things like that, but I was doing all these other things too, right? Now, this is what I do instead, all right? I find the users in my most targeted groups that are actually active on Facebook. I find the ones that are, not just there lurking, but they actually do post on their newsfeed, right? They post on their profile, I mean. I use a list of those users so I know exactly whose posts engage on every day. I'll show you what I mean by that. After a very specific set of events happen, I can contact the hottest prospects and they will 100%, I tell you, 100% know who I am and will be willing to hear me out. So, turn that around. If you do this, there's 100% they will know who you are, and they will be willing to at least have a conversation with you because they've seen you, right? So you can do that too, right? You can do that too. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just understanding those little nuances so that you can do that specific process, right? All right, so how do you find the most active users in groups, right? So how do you do that? So this is basically how you need to do it. If you're just going to do it yourself, go into Facebook, this is how you do it. You go to the groups where your target market hangs out in, right? So say your target market is single mothers, right? Well, you would go to groups that single mothers like to go to. I don't know. That's not my target market, so I don't really know what things they'd be interested in. But that's part of defining your avatar, right? You define who they are, what they're interested in, what are their hobbies and things like that, and you go find the groups that fits, right? Then you go through all the posts in the group. So you look at the posts in the group, right? Post 1, post 2, post 3, whatever, right? And then you look and you take note of who is posting, their names, right? And who is commenting, and also how often they do, right? So you've got to keep track of that. And once you have the list of those who post or comment the most, you go to their personal profile and check if they post there too. I'm sorry. You're also going to want to see if their profile is public and well done. And over time, you'll also want to go back to the group to find new people you didn't find before. It's pretty, straightforward, right? Step ABC, 1, 2, 3, right? This way you'll have fresh prospects every day. Isn't that what we all want as online marketers, right? We want fresh prospects, we want new blood. So, I mean, you might be thinking this is a lot, and you're right. And that's kind of what that next. So what's your daily well, actually, we're not there yet, but just let's just follow along here, right? So, I mean, once you have that list, visit the first 10 to 20 on the first day and comment on their newest 3 posts. Do the same for the next 10 to 20 people on the next day. Continue doing this on new prospects each day until the 6th to 10th day where you start over from the beginning. And now I'm not sure if you're following this along. It's kind of like, step 1, 2, 3 and kind of follow that process. But you'll see in a second what I mean by this. It's simple, but it's a lot of work, right? After engaging on enough posts of a particular prospect, I wait until 23 to 30 posts. I reach out to them and see if they're open to hearing about my offer, right? Hearing about your offer. Can you see? Now, this is a question I definitely want to ask in the chat here. I want to know, can you see that this would work if you had the time to do it? Like, say you have nothing else going on in your life and you got lots of time. Can you see that this would work if you were able to do this? I want to know in the chat. Do you think this would work for you if you had the time, right? If you had, 10 hours a day to do this, you think this would work? After you learn the process and you go through it and you kind of do it, right? It would work, right? It would work. I know you're typing yes right now in the chat. I know you are, because it's a simple thing. It's lots of steps, but it's a simple thing, right? But, I bet you're thinking it's totally insane, right? This is like, oh my God, this is totally crazy. I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm sure you don't, right? Donna says, yes, she could do it. Obviously, pretty much anybody could do anything if they had the time, or maybe if you're paid to do that, right? If that was your job, right? You could do it. Anybody could do it, right? It's just, if it's a job, sure, we can do it, right? But it's totally insane. Like, especially if you're like me and you have a day job and you have a family, you have an hour a day maybe that you kind of can do stuff. Maybe 2, maybe 3 if you decide to stop watching TV or get up early or stuff, right? But it is totally insane, right? Who would want to do all that, right? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody, right? Sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. That's why leaders just teach the simple stuff, right? The leaders, they just tell you, right? but I can guarantee 100% that it works. It does. It works. And you can see, I know you can see that it worked for you too, right? And, the truth is, you're here because it works, right? The reason why you're here watching this presentation is because you know me from me being online, being in your notifications, me commenting on your posts, me sending you messages. That's why you're here. Because this works. Because I do this, and that's why you know me, and that's why you trust me enough to come to this presentation, right? That's exactly right, and exactly like Robert says, or you take the time. If you have the time to do it, it's great. But we usually have other things in our lives than to do these meticulous, repetitive things that we have to do every day that takes like 8 hours of our day to do, right? So, and there is a better way, right? There is a better way than doing all this crazy stuff manually, right? But first, let's talk content, because, you need to be creating content. So why do I love this process is because it gives me content ideas, right? You're always going to need to create content regularly, right? You always need, that's a hallmark of getting people to know you. You need to have content so that people can see what you're about, so they get to start to know and like you, right? I get tons of ideas from comments on posts, right? I do this every day. I comment on people's stuff, and that gives me ideas, right? I either get an idea from the person's post, or the post, or my comment on the post, right? So that's kind of what it is. Because I'm engaging on posts, and this is the cool thing about it, right? Because I'm engaging on posts of people in my targeted groups, I very often hit a chord with my posts and get lots of engagement, because that's what they're looking for. That's what they're interested in, right? So, look, for example, I just got a couple examples here. I comment on Russell Brunson's post, right? So he put marketing bridges the gap between not knowing and needing. And then I put, marketing is the secret ingredient that takes people from ignorance to desire, right? And he commented back, right? And I created a post, which is basically the comment I had, right? And I had 22 comments, and that's within 2 days, right? You can see the 2 days when I did the screenshot there. So within 2 days, I had 22 comments. It's not 1,000 comments, but it's still pretty good when nowadays, when you post on Facebook, you get 1 or 2 comments, and lots of times none, right? Just because of the Facebook algorithm. So here's another one. Somebody posted that. You only need 3 things to make money online: a laptop, phone, and Wi-Fi. And I posted basically the same, slightly changed things compared to his post, right? I got 20 comments within 1 day, right? Another one, I got an idea from this comment, right? I posted that it can be scary to start something new, blah, blah, blah. I got 29 comments within a day, right? So that's the thing. It's kind of cool that you can get content ideas from just the comments. Okay, so what is the better way? What is the better way? The better way is automating the process. So automating the process as in doing the work that is tedious using software, right? So that is, you use a software that will do all the research for you. Now I'm not talking about AI automation, like automated comments and all that garbage that, sure, it does have some value maybe sometimes, but Facebook does not want that. Facebook doesn't want these robots commenting on things, liking things, posting things, whatever. They don't want software doing that. And this doesn't do that. This is not what this is about. Now, to be honest, I've been debating whether I want to add that functionality eventually, but even if I did, it would be an option that you could turn off. Right now, this software does not do any of that. All it does is it helps you by doing the research for you and by tracking for you. You'll see in a second what I mean. So you tell it what groups you want to look in. So you got to do your own research as to what groups your target market is hanging out in. And you got to join those groups. And then you tell the tool what groups to search in, right? After that, simple, right? That's all you do. You give it the groups and you tell it. You tell it what the groups are. And then you let it do its thing. And after it's done its thing, you get a list of people that are in the groups that you said to look in. Now, these are all marketers because I'm in marketing groups. So these are all online marketers, people building business online. Well, you're probably one of them because well, you're in my list because I engage on your posts because I invited you here, right? So that's, that's kind of how it works. So, okay, so it's going to find the users that post and comment, right? So it goes to the group, it looks at the posts and who posted, and then it looks at the comments and who commented, and brings those into a database. And then it'll give you a list of those users with how many posts and comments they did. So each day it'll go check the groups for new posts and new comments. And then use that list, and then you use that list every day to choose whose post you will comment on. Pretty cool, right? Sorry about my throat. That's what happens when I talk for an hour. My throat gets like that. I think I might have, some issue there, but I probably don't practice my throat enough. All right, so pretty cool, right? So track your visits and engagement. So you can do things like that. What makes a prospect go up the ladder is engagements, right? Engagements, exposures. I guess that should say exposures. It's exposures that make them go up the ladder, right? So track when you visited them last and how many posts you commented on and they reacted to, because the number of posts you commented on are each exposures, right? They're exposures to you, right? So that person, I mean, they might not see the notifications of every single post, but they see enough and they see you commenting, and most people like that. They like it because you're engaging on their posts, right? So you will know how many you've done today and the days before. So if I look at this example here, it shows me that I visited on this date and 8 days before that, 15 days. So it kind of shows you the progression or the amount of visits and things like that you've done on each of the people, right? So you can automatically promote your prospect to warm or hot based on those engagements too. So the tool will automatically promote your prospect. Like when you first start, all your prospects are cold leads, right? They're people, well, I mean, it's not true because some of them are people you've already known, but the software doesn't know that, right? So if you were to use that software starting today, everybody would be cold leads, right? You can manually set them to hot if you want and things like that. But as you do the engagements, the software tracks that you visited this person once, twice, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. And as you comment on them, it tracks the number of comments too. And then, the software knows, well, you can configure it, but it's defaults. It's set so that it turns the prospect from cold to warm after a certain number of engagements, and then turns them to hot after a certain number too. So you can look at the list and say, how many hot leads do I have? Maybe I'll send them a message today, all the hot leads. Or maybe you send 5 of them every day. But they're hot leads. They're not cold leads that have never heard of you. They've seen you. They've seen your face in the notifications. They've seen your face in their comments. They've probably seen your post. They've probably been to your page. And the other cool thing that happens is Facebook will start to show your post to them in their newsfeed because there's connections. There's engagement between you two, right? That's kind of what it does, right? So that's what else. The other thing is, let's go to the next. So actually, let me share my screen and do a little demo right now of this. Let's see where I have it right here. I have the software up here. Oh, I should have probably prepared it to show you the list because right now it's on like some admin site. But let's just load it up right here. So I hope you can see that. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So basically, when you load it up, the first time you use it, you're going to have just one list of whatever groups they gave it to use, right? But me, I've been running it for I don't know how long, probably 2 years. So I have a lot of, I have a long, big list, right? I have a big list of 30,000 leads, I think, in there, which, you could get to if you just use it regularly. You'll get to that point where you get a lot of leads. And Robert's saying, he's saying, what are your thoughts about emojis? Yeah, definitely emojis is a thing that it's good to put in your posts because it adds like color. I'm terrible. I'm not that great with emojis. Like I can't really remember which ones are which and which one to use where and whatever. So whenever I do it, it's just like a couple of random emojis. So I'm not the best person to ask about emojis, but I do believe that they're very good to use. They're like little pictures in your text, right? So they make the text more alive. So if you can do emojis good. Oh, I forgot about this. I should have. Yeah, so there's some stuff that I'm still working on. You can see right here, there's the bios. But if I go to the column options, I can turn off the bio. Let's say I turn it off. Where's the bio? Turn it off. Just do that. It'll reload, and then it'll show the without the bio, because the bio is like too big on the screen right now. But basically, yeah, I wish I could have prepared that ahead. And I got a little bug. Oh no, where did it go? I can't get it. You know those little tiny gnats? They're so annoying. You can't even kill those things. There's no way to. So let's just let it finish loading up here. Smile is easy. Yeah, I use that all the time. The smile or the wink, right? The semicolon bracket. Or the semicolon or the colon with the back bracket to frown, right? But yeah, so here's the list right here, and you can see that this list it shows me 5 of 3. If I click on here to load 5 more, or in my options here, I can set that I want to load 50 at a time or whatever. I set it to 5 because I don't want to load more than I need to, because I'm basically just going through my list. Every day I just go and I just click on this name here and I just go to their profile, right, in Facebook, and I comment on their post. I mean, it's a lot easier than going through the news feed and not really sure whether I want to comment on this. But this guy here, March 9th, it's an old post. That's funny that I didn't comment on it. Must be an old post, but let's just see right here. Step-by-step guide. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say, sounds awesome, right? So, I mean, obviously, sometimes you want to take your time to look at the post, comment a little bit more appropriately. And then I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say, a wonderful place to be, indeed. All right. And then I'm going to do a third one, represent blockchain sports. And I'm going to say, oh, what's that? All right, so then I got 3 comments on 3 posts on this person. I just close the tab right here, and then I come in here and just say 3 and 3, and I save. And what you'll notice here, I don't know if you noticed, but earlier this said 9. Now it says 10. So as I do my posts, every day. I go on each of these, right? It will also show me right here how many visits, 18, 8, 87, 8, number of comments, number of reactions. And if I go and I look at this now again, you're going to see that it says last visit was 1 minute ago. Now you can click on any of these to see the full list, right? And that kind of lets you see, if you're wondering, how many times you visited Vandal Robert's profile here. I'm guessing Robert is his first name. You can just come in here and you can look at it. You can see, that you can mouse over it. It'll show you like this, or you click on it, that pops it up. And you can kind of see that 6 days ago, 9 days ago, 21 days ago, 25 days ago, those are the visits. I can also see how many comments, right? So I commented on one. I did 1 comment 6 days ago, 1 comment 9 days ago, 21 days, 25, 52, 3 comments today, right? So this must be somebody that I see in my news feed that I don't necessarily go visit from the list here. Because that's one of the things. The software will also track your visits on your news feed. If you use the software, it'll go into your Facebook activities. Basically, like, if I go here, I can go to Facebook and I just go under my, is that here? No, I think it's over here. Oh, no, I think you go to your profile first. Where is it? You go to your profile and then the 3 little dots here, activity log, right? So that is where you can see your Facebook activity, comments and reactions. You can see right here, what I commented on. Just the comments. I just want the comments. So you can see right here what I comment on, right? It can go on and on. It goes on and on. Everything's there. Facebook tracks that for you, right? So the software goes and gets that so that if I do react on somebody's post that I didn't use the software for, the next day it'll show up in my list. That's why I have 29 right here, 36 and 30. Even though I only comment on like 10 to 20. I used to do 20. Was it 20? I don't remember. I think it was 20 a day. And then when I enabled this feature, I don't do that anymore. I just do 10, and then I also comment on a few things in the newsfeed. And then the next day, I see the total of how many I engaged on. So you can, anyways, there's a whole bunch of things. You can do searches, you can do filters, you can sort by columns, you can choose your columns. You can see right here, this is a filter right here that says at least visited 6 days greater than 6, and they're hidden as false because you can hide these if you don't like them. There's so many more things I could show you about this software, but I think we're going to go back to the demo, to the presentation. Let's go back here. All right, so can I ask you a few questions? Right? Is it okay if I ask you here? So Robert says he uses the heart. I do use the heart as well. I like using the heart. It depends obviously on the content. But yeah, the heart is a nice emoji to use. So can I ask you a few questions? I just want to ask you a few questions. And then can you see how the software can save you tons of time? Can you see how this software will help you focus on the right prospects? Just go ahead and let me know in the chat there if you can see that by putting a Y. If you see that you can do that. Can you see how simple it is to use the software and how you could use it every day without any problems? Would it be okay if I took a few minutes to show you an offer I put together for you? It's okay if you don't want to, but would it be okay if I showed you an offer I put it together? Just take a few minutes, show you that. I'm going to wait for you. Robert says C. Robert is trying to be funny with C instead of being yes. Yes, I understand. I think that's Spanish, right? C is Spanish, is it? Or is it Italian or some other language? I think so. C. I don't know. But yes, okay, perfect. Thank you. So I will keep going. I will talk to you about it. So what I want to offer you is 12 months of the software, right? This is what the offer is all about. So you're here to quit in a few months or for the long haul, right? I mean, when I decided to start using a tool, I always go for the yearly plans and go all in because, isn't that what we should all do, right? Why just use it for a month? You won't get much out of anything if you just tell yourself you're going to do it just for a month, right? Normally, the software is $97 a month, which at 12 months is worth $11.64. All right, so that's one of the things you get. So number 2, there's a reverse social prospecting accelerated 6-week program. If you're thinking this is all too much for you, you're not alone, right? I mean, what if I could lock arms? What if you could lock arms with others using this software and process, right? We'd work together. What if I could guide you through the process and you can find accountability partners so you're not alone trying to figure all this out? I mean, it is software, For 6 weeks, we're going to meet once a week for about 2 hours to do this. Review how to use the software. Every time we talk about it a little bit. Answer any questions, obviously. And we're going to cover an important topic we need to go deeper on. So basically about attraction marketing, those kinds of things. We're going to talk more about those things. And of course, it'll be dependent on what you're interested in, because I'm going to ask you guys, what would you like in what topics would you like in that during that 6 week? Right? Most of all, we're going to track those hot leads to you. We're going to show you how and why that works, right? Also, you're going to get 12 months of Click eCourse. Remember, I told you about Click eCourse that I built for e-learning. I mean, if you're doing anything online, you need a place to host either courses, the videos that you record, or maybe even testimonials or things like that. A place that's better than YouTube or Facebook, a place that you can send people to, right? I mean, it's predicted, like the e-learning, I should have updated this for numbers for 2020, 2025, probably. I should look that up, shouldn't I, right? Oh, that looks pretty old. I'm sorry. I did that like last year. Huh. I didn't realize. Anyways, yeah, so those numbers are from 2023. There's obviously a change now. But yeah, there's billions to be made on the e-learning industry, right? So everybody, wouldn't you want a tiny percentage of that? I'm sure you would. So if you're planning to create your own course or promote courses, you're allowed to host like private label rights. By the way, there's lots of those out there where you can just resell somebody else's course, right? And host it someplace else. You need a place to host those courses. That's what ClickEcourse is for. You can resell mini courses on your own platform, and ClickEcourse gives you that, right? So you're going to get full 12 months of ClickEcourse. That's worth $1,800. That's part of the offer. So what else do you get? You get 12 months of clever AI copy. I told you about the AI platform, right? It's easily create all the copy you ever need for your courses, your funnel, your ads, your emails, and more. It creates images for you in your content. You even get ideas for quotes on Facebook posts. And you'll get a full 12 months of clever AI copy, value of $1,800 as well. What else? You get zero rejection course. You might be thinking this won't change the struggle to get them to buy from you. Oh my God, I know, right? Like, why don't people just buy from you, right? Why don't they just buy? Like, why do you have to convince them, right? Well, this zero rejection course will show you exactly how to eliminate the rejection we all face in this industry. It's done by I forget if it's I forget who does it. I don't know. I guess I should put that in here. But so it's a self-paced 5-day challenge to yourself to show you the secrets to zero rejection. And you get the zero rejection marketing makeover 5-day challenge value of $297. You get that with this. All right. What else? You get an accountability group, right? So an accountability group, if you're thinking you'll have trouble being consistent with the strategy, you're in luck, because another great bonus you'll get is an accountability group. So you're going to have a group where we're all kind of being able to communicate with each other. We're all in this thing together. You'll be able to find someone else who has similar interests and schedules as you, and you'll both together keep each other on track, right? So that's kind of one of the things that we all easily fall out, right? I'm sure you also cheer each other on, right? So maybe even become friends. That's always pretty cool. Interact with all others looking for an accountability partner, a value of $97. All right, so what else you get? You get all session replays. Yes, of course, all the replays. It's so common for us to feel we don't have time to do it all. I mean, even if you can't, like, there's nothing more true than when it comes to finding the time to attend live Zoom sessions. I mean, if we do live sessions, right, every Saturday or whenever the schedule is going to be, because I'm going to be asking you what you prefer. I mean, maybe you don't have time. Maybe you have something else that happens. At least you're going to be able to watch the replay, right? Maybe it's during the night because you're in Europe, right? So feel secure in the fact that you'll be able to watch all the sessions as much as you want, anytime you want, forever, right? You get lifetime access to all the RSP Accelerate sessions as well as other pop-up Zooms that may occur. Value of $97. Maybe it's worth more than that. I don't know. I put $97. Fast action bonus for the first 5, is it? Is it the first 5? I forget whether are you ready to take action now? You're the one I'm looking for. All right? You're the one I'm looking for. Are you ready to take action? I'll spend 30, 60 minutes with you in a Zoom to set up the software and talk about your goals and how to best accomplish them. So it'll be all about you, right? We can even talk about your Facebook profile, daily activities, social media, whatever you want to talk about that has to do with your business online. Buy this. Yeah, the first 5 who choose to invest today, the first 5 that come and take this offer will get this extra bonus. All right. And there is one more thing. You also get grandfather in your cost. And what does that mean? So after the 12 months are over, you'd normally have to pay each platform. So if you want to, like, ClickEcourse is $150 a month, AI is $150 a month, active group users $97 a month. So this will give you all 3 of them. All 3 of them for just $97 a month. So, I mean, And as long as you keep paying that $97 a month, it's always going to be $97, even if the price of the platforms goes up. So that'll grandfather you into that. It would be normally $397 for all three, but you get it for $97 a month. And that's after 1 year, right? It's not today. You don't pay that until a year from now. So not to mention it'll be locked in even when our prices go up in the future. Don't worry, though. This doesn't start until the 13th month, and you can cancel anytime until then. All right? So that's what you're going to get. What if all this did was, right? I don't know if you've been to webinars, but this is how we do that. This is called the value ladder. Not the value ladder. It's called I forget what it's called. Anyways, so what if all this did was save you 30 minutes a day on the newsfeed? Let's say right now you're spending an hour on Facebook, and it would save you 30 minutes. So you spend only 30 minutes. How much is an hour worth to you? 100, 150, right? More? I mean, suppose you work 6 days a week and you save 30 minutes per day. Then we're talking about, 3 hours a week, only $100 a day. You'd be saving $300 a week, $1,200 a month, right? I mean, I'm not, you can read all that, but what if your hours wouldn't with 50? That means blah, 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 right? So, I mean, imagine you'd be saving like $15,000 or $22,500 in a year, right? Isn't that worth $8,000, right? So total value of all this is $8,003. I forgot to mention that. I mean, it's there. It's on the screen, but I forgot to mention it. I need to add that to my slides, definitely. But yeah, so I mean, isn't that worth $8,000, right? Just like, what if that's all it did? Save you 30 minutes a day? Maybe that's not enough. Maybe what if it saves you 3 hours a day? Just consider that, right? What if that's all it does? It just saves you time, right? But I'm not going to charge $8,000, obviously. I'm not going to charge you $8,003. I bet you know that. What if I charge you $1,997, right? Most leaders, their webinars, they're about $2,000, right? $2,000 for their offer, which is definitely worth more than that. I mean, I'm not going to charge you that. Maybe in the future, I'm going to go there, right? But I bet if I charge you $997, you'd be all over it, right? $997, would you be all over it? You guys, the chat is right. I see the chat right there. Anybody would be all over it for $997? All of this? Of course you would. You know what? I'm not even going to charge you $997. I might be crazy, but I'm not going to charge you $997. But I do want to know. Yeah, Donna's right. A value stack. That's what that is. It's a value stack. So Donna, you would buy that for $997. I bet you would. Maybe Robert would. Maybe somebody else on the call there, or maybe one of you watching the replay. Yes, I'm sure you would. So what if I asked for a small investment of $497 today? Would that do it? Yeah, would it do it? No, I don't see any yeses there. Okay, well, now I know. Now you know I am crazy because I'm not even going to charge you $497 for all that, worth $8,000 more than $8,000. Here's how much I'm going to charge you today for all of this, right? If you're one of the first 5, we're going to have a Zoom session. We're going to talk about your business. All this for $349, right? So I'm going to put the link right in the chat here. I don't know how that works. There's a place here. activegroupusers.com/offer. I hope that works. Does it work? Does that link work? I'm going to try it right here, right now. Because I did kind of do some setup and things. Oh, did I type it wrong? Oh, I didn't type it right. It's not activegroupUser.com. It's activegroupusers with an S. Activegroupusers. There's the right link right now. Okay. There you go. Yes, that's working. That takes you to the... Oh, no. It takes you to the wrong page. A 402 error. That's funny. I thought I fixed that. Let me do that real quick right now. Fix it. This is embarrassing. This is not my this is not what I this is no I don't want this is not what I want to be doing on my webinar. Live fixing something like this. This is not my goal. So I will have to take this out of the recording, won't I? All right, so let's see. Where's the, I want the page. All right, so then I need to go find this over here. Right here, right? Oh, it's right over here. Okay, so I got to go here. Oh, my. It's coming. I'm almost there. Almost got it. All right, I got this over here, right there. Fix that here. So it is. There we go. Okay, so now if we go back here, and I go back to this thing, to the webinar, and I click on that link again. Now, all right, so this is what you should see now when you go to that link. And you can go through here, look at the testimonials, and these are the offers right here. And yeah, so that's the page. Sorry about that. Now that activegroupusers.com/offer, that works fine now. All right, so next, let's talk about, you might be thinking, I'm not technical. I'm not technical, right? Maybe you're not technical. Well, it takes me forever to set up new software. You might be thinking that, right? You might be thinking, you need to be quick and be the first 5 to get a Zoom session with me. We'll set it up with you. It'll be a real breeze to get it set up. If you're not the first 5, you will be able to attend the weekly sessions of the RSP Accelerator. So the schedule will be communicated by email. You'll also be able to ask for help in the groups. And by the way, let me ask you right now, free beer, is that what you, oh yeah, that would be free beer because of my messed up presentation? Yes, I agree. I should have free beer. I don't have any here though. I'd have to order it or something. But anyways, yeah. So here's the thing. I want to ask you, if you were going to attend this, if you were going to go for this, when would the schedule be good for you for the accelerator? Because I want to do once a week. I'm thinking Saturday noonish, Saturday, around noon, or maybe Saturday around 5 p.m. or some evening, because I do have a day job, so I can't do it during the day. I was thinking maybe Sunday too, but I think most people prefer Sunday as a day, kind of a day off, and I kind of want that too. So I'm thinking Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or an evening during the week. So let me know what you think in terms of when would work for you better. Is it a Saturday morning, a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, or during the week evening? And what time zone? Right. So you'd be able to ask for help in the groups because we have groups, right? So you might be thinking, I don't have the money. This is too much. $349 is too much. Well, I totally get it. There's always something else we need the money for. I know. We all, but when I got started, I felt the same. I knew that I was going to do this online thing. When I started doing this online stuff, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. So you might be thinking the same thing. I don't have the money, but you might be thinking, I'm going to do this online thing. I'm going to do this Facebook thing. I'm already doing it anyways. Why wouldn't I do this to save me all this time, right? That was my way out of the rat race. Well, it's probably your way out of the rat race too. I mean, I went all in back then. I took the 1 year, the full price, the investment, knowing I was saving big time. And that wasn't $300. It was like $2,500 or something. I forget what I think it was $1,500 back then when I decided to jump into this, to whatever I jumped in back then in 2015. So, I mean, this is nothing compared to that. So it's the same for you here. Are you going to quit next month, or are you going to keep going until you win? I hope you're going to keep going until you win. And that is. Plus, don't forget, you have a 30-day refund. You can pay this now, and you got a 30-day refund. 30 days to get a refund if you really don't like it. You might be thinking, I don't have time to learn. It's software can sometimes be overwhelming. I know. But it just take it one day at a time, right? You do it one day at a time. You do this one thing, then you do the next thing, And before you know it, you're going to be like doing it all. And attend the weekly accelerator Zooms, right? Find the accountability partner. Get somebody to, be with you there, right? And you'll be a pro in no time. Even if you think you can't learn, you can learn. I know you can. And you probably know you can. You feel that way, right? I mean, you might be thinking my spouse doesn't agree, right? Your spouse doesn't agree. That's common, right? It's like, obviously it's important to communicate clearly with your spouse. For me, I mean, my wife and I used to have lots of misunderstanding until we talked about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you got to do that too, right? You got to do the same. And I get that. It's not necessarily easy. But just remember, again, this limited time offer, and you do have 30 days to get a full refund. So even if you feel that you need to talk to your spouse first, you can always just put it in, get to be one of the first 5, right? And, get a refund after if you don't want it. I don't care. I mean, if you're one of the first 5 and you ask for a refund before all the people have their Zoom sessions, well, number 6 is going to have the Zoom session. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me. That's fine by me. I'm still going to keep doing this. I'm still going to help people. But, you got to make the decision, right? But anyways, this is it. Take advantage of this one-time offer right now. Go to activegroupusers.com/offer. And as promised, for staying until the end, if you want to have just the free 90 days, you can do that too. You just got to go to this link right here, and at the end on the offer page, you're going to see the free 90 days. So here, I'll show you. If I go here to the offer page, which takes you to this page, right? So if you don't want to do this, like there's actually two options, right? You can either do the one payment, but if you're thinking that's too much, there is an option for 3 payments, right? You just click on this to do the 3 payments. And if you really don't want the offer, if you really don't want this, then there's this link right here. No thanks, I understand. And you can just click on this to get the 3 months bonus. The 3 months bonus. It's a bonus, not a bonus. It's a bonus. I got to fix that. But yeah, so you can just click on that to get the 3 months. But otherwise, you just click on this button here. It takes you to the payment page, and it looks like it's broke. Is it? Oh my God! As you can tell, this is the first time I do this webinar, so some of these things are not set up right. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure I checked that earlier. So let me see if I can't fix it. Why did this not work? So, I mean, if you go here, that works. Yep. And then this one, it is linked to step. Why is that not working? I don't see why this is not working. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, that's it today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming to this presentation. And if you have any questions, obviously you can always reach out. and we'll let you know about the replay too if you want to watch the replay. All right, you have yourself a great evening, and we'll talk later.